All right, so are you ready to dive into a holiday with more mystery than a haunted house on Halloween?
Let's do it.
Halloween itself, we've got a stack of research here.
Okay.
And it looks like it's a lot more than just like discounted candy corn and those polyester costumes you get at the store.
Yeah, Halloween is fascinating. It's really a blend of ancient traditions with these modern interpretations
Right.
woven together over centuries and continents.
And to really like unwrap this whole thing,
Yeah.
we got to go back like over 2,000 years to the ancient Celts
Okay.
and their festival of Samhain.
Samhain.
And I always want to say it wrong. So-in, is that right?
Co-in, yes.
So-in.
Close enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it wasn't just the end of their harvest season. It was like the veil between like us and the spirit world was like paper thin.
Yeah, imagine a time where the veil between the living and the spirit world was believed to be at its thinnest.
Yeah.
A time for great celebration,
Yeah.
but also some trepidation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like this wasn't just some like abstract idea for them. This was like central to their whole like cosmology.
This was a time when boundaries blurred. The spirit world could come into ours.
It makes our Halloween spooky, but not quite as intense.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the traditions.
Okay.
Bonfires weren't just for roasting marshmallows back then.
No.
Right.
These were crucial for keeping those wandering spirits in check.
Oh, so.
Imagine massive bonfires lighting up the night.
Yeah.
The flames were meant to ward off any malevolent spirits, but also to guide lost souls toward the other world.
Interesting. Okay, so they're kind of doing a double duty there. And costume, I mean, we've talked about costumes before on the show.
Right.
But these were originally like animal skins and heads.
Yeah, think more like practical and fear-based.
Yeah.
Rather than fun and festive.
Yeah.
They were trying to confuse or frighten spirits.
Okay.
Avoid being recognized.
So it's not just about looking scary. It's about like blending in.
Blending in. Like a prehistoric camouflage.
Right. It's
Kind of
like
throw the spirits off.
Exactly.
And then there's the offerings of food and drink.
Yes.
That they would leave out.
It's like the ultimate, please don't haunt me.
It's a little like leaving a treat so that you don't get tricked.
Right.
But it wasn't all about like placating potentially angry spirits.
No.
They also had these gatherings called play parties.
Yes. Play parties were communal gatherings.
They were filled with storytelling, fortune-telling, and dancing.
Oh, wow.
Really just celebrating the harvest, honoring the dead.
That's cool.
And maybe even catching a glimpse of what the future held.
It really shows you like how celebrations have always been about community and storytelling.
Absolutely.
And we can't do Halloween without talking about the JackOLantern.
Oh, the JackOLantern. Such a spooky backstory.
Yeah.
It all starts with Stingy Jack.
Yeah.
This mischievous figure in Irish folklore who tricked the devil.
Stingy Jack roams in the flickering flames, tricking spirits, calling out their names. Lantern lit bright, guiding his lost soul, wandering forever, never finding home.
Okay.
Not once, but twice.
Twice.
Or,
That's kind of impressive.
I know, right?
A little devious.
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with carving pumpkins?
Well, legend has it that when Stingy Jack died, he was denied entry to both heaven and hell.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he was doomed to wander the earth for eternity with only a burning coal inside a carved-out turnip.
Oh, to light his way.
To light his way.
So those jack-o'-lanterns are to ward off Stingy Jack's soul.
Perhaps.
That's kind of a dark origin story.
It is a little dark, isn't it?
For something so seemingly innocent.
Right.
And how did we go from scary turnips to pumpkins?
Well, when the Irish immigrants came to America, they found that pumpkins, which are native to North America, were much larger and easier to carve,
That makes sense.
more practical.
Yeah.
And so the jack-o'-lantern, as we know it, was born.
Wow. It's amazing how those traditions travel
I know, it's incredible.
across continents and like evolve.
Yeah.
But how did this like pagan festival survive with the rise of Christianity?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The early church had a dilemma. How
Yeah.
to reconcile these ingrained Celtic traditions with their beliefs.
Right, because they kind of clash a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And their solution was ingenious.
What did they do?
Well, they decided to fight fire with fire, holiday with holiday.
Okay, I like it.
So in the 8th century AD, Pope Gregory III established All Saints' Day on November 1st.
Okay.
This new feast day was intended to honor all the Christian saints and martyrs.
That's where we get All Hallows Eve,
Exactly.
which became Halloween.
Exactly.
Smart to just kind of absorb it into the calendar.
It's much easier to absorb than to try to completely eradicate.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. They gave a lot of the Samhain traditions new Christian interpretations.
Like what?
So those bonfires that were meant to ward off evil spirits
Yeah.
now honored saints
I see.
and the costumes.
Yeah.
Well, you could dress up as your favorite saint.
Instead of a scary creature.
Exactly. So they embraced it. And they created this blend of old and new.
I like it.
And they didn't stop there. To further solidify the Christianization of this, they instituted All Souls Day on November 2nd.
Uh-huh.
This day was specifically for remembering and praying for the dead,
Oh, wow.
reinforcing the Christian beliefs of the afterlife.
Wow. So they really put like a completely different spin on it.
They did. They took it and made it their own.
Wow.
It was very clever.
Very strategic.
It was.
It's amazing how they took something so old and made it part of something new.
Yeah, it's really a testament to how these traditions survive and adapt over time.
Exactly. But the story doesn't end there.
Yeah.
Halloween as we know it today
Right.
really took shape here
In North America.
in North America.
Yeah, with that wave of Irish and Scottish immigrants in the 19th century. They brought their own customs.
Like those play parties we were talking about.
Exactly. They weren't just for fun, though.
Right.
They were really vital for connecting with their heritage,
Right.
building a community in this new land,
Right.
and even just coping with the anxieties of the time.
So they served a really important purpose.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah. But Halloween here wasn't all like dancing and divinations.
No, it definitely had a rebellious streak.
It did.
As these traditions took root,
Yeah.
they kind of clashed with existing customs here.
Right.
And it led to a lot of pranks. Vandalism, especially in the late 19th, early 20th century.
So Halloween was a way to blow off some steam,
A little bit. Yeah,
maybe a little too enthusiastically sometimes.
maybe a little.
Yeah. And this is where the Irish influence becomes really clear.
Hugely important here.
Mm.
The potato famine in the 1840s
Right.
led to a huge wave of Irish immigrants coming to America.
Okay.
And they brought with them trick-or-treating.
Wait, trick-or-treating is Irish.
It's got roots there.
I always thought that was something much more modern.
It seems that way, right?
Yeah.
But remember those offerings
Yeah.
to appease the spirits?
Yeah, to not get tricked.
Exactly. That practice actually laid the groundwork for what would become trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
In medieval Europe, it morphed into something called souling,
Okay.
where the poor would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for these little cakes called soul cakes.
So prayers for treats.
Exactly.
It's like trick-or-treating, but with a more spiritual bend.
It's the original trick-or-treating.
Right.
And as those Irish traditions blended with those already here, that's when we see trick-or-treating, as we know it today, starting to emerge.
I can see it.
Kids in costumes going door to door,
Asking for candy
asking for treats.
instead of tiptoeing through the streets.
It gave them a safer,
Yeah.
more structured way to enjoy the holiday.
And it's a great way for communities to come together.
It is,
Yeah.
very much so.
But let's look at some different Christian perspectives on Halloween now.
Okay.
Because obviously, a holiday with these roots
Right.
in paganism.
Yeah, it's bound to have a range of different viewpoints.
Yeah. What are some of those viewpoints?
Well, you've got figures like Reverend Billy Graham,
Okay.
who urged a lot of caution, especially during his ministry.
Okay.
He always emphasized those pagan roots,
Right.
these association with the supernatural, and advised Christians to really steer clear of anything that could be seen as glorifying evil.
So like a cautious approach.
Right.
With a little bit of separation
But-
between what it is now and
Yeah,
what it was.
Exactly.
And I can see why people would be concerned about those roots.
Yeah.
But then you have Pastor Joel Osteen,
Yeah.
and he has a completely different take.
A little different. He sees it more as an opportunity for community and being positive,
Okay.
a chance to connect with neighbors,
Okay.
build relationships, spread goodwill.
Focus on the treat in trick or treat.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of shying away, he embraces it.
That's cool.
And then there's Pastor Rick Warren.
Okay.
He offers a third way.
What's that?
He believes we can redeem Halloween, shift the focus from spooky and supernatural to community and family.
How
So
so?
things like church-organized harvest festivals,
Oh, okay.
trunk or treat events where it's safe for the kids,
Right.
and really focusing on sharing and togetherness and that kind of autumn celebration.
That's really cool. So even within Christianity itself, there's a bunch of different ways to look at Halloween.
It's really more than just like theological debates now.
Right.
Halloween is everywhere.
It really is.
It's pop culture.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
You can't escape it. It's in music, movies, television, social media.
It's true. And it's not hard to see why, like, who doesn't love a good Halloween movie marathon?
Right.
With classics like Halloween, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, or some more family-friendly stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
They tap into those primal fears.
Yeah.
Our sense of wonder and fascination with, like, the unknown.
Right. And you can't forget about the music.
Oh, the music.
Halloween playlists
Yeah.
are their own genre.
They really are. You get, like, creepy classics like Monster Mash.
Yes, so...
And then, like, the new macabre stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And social media is like
Oh, my God.
a whole different beast.
A digital costume party.
It's like everyone's showing off how creative they are with their costumes.
And the spooky food and
Yeah.
the decorations.
That's crazy.
It's amazing how tradition and technology come together
Yeah.
to really amplify this holiday.
It's true. But even with all that, it's important to remember that October 31st is more than just a day on the calendar.
It's not just another day.
It's
It's got centuries of tradition behind it.
feeling's still there.
Yeah, that liminality, that the veil is thin between the worlds.
Yeah.
Like it lingers.
Yeah, it's true. And we kind of allow ourselves to buy into it a little bit more on that day.
We do. It's like we confront the unknown.
Yeah,
And we find comfort in facing our fears.
it's true. But we can't talk about Halloween
We can.
without talking about
The money,
the economics of
the
it.
business of Halloween,
It's huge.
costumes, candy decorations. It's massive.
Look.
It's a huge shopping event.
Like billions of dollars.
Billions. In 2022 alone, $10.6 billion was spent on Halloween.
That's crazy.
That's the second largest after Christmas.
Wow.
And it's not just for people anymore. It's costumes for adults, kids, pets.
Even houses are getting in on the action.
Everyone wants to be spooky.
And the candy.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Mountains and mountains of candy.
Dentists love this time of year.
I bet they do.
Pop-up shops, online retailers. Everybody wants a piece.
It's true. It really shows you how appealing Halloween is.
It's the perfect blend of tradition and fun.
It's true. Well, as we wrap up our deep dive here into Halloween,
A fascinating holiday.
we've learned about where it came from, how it changed.
Right, how it's still changed.
And it's still got us
Honestly.
in its grip.
Currently,
So as the veil thins and the boundaries blur,
what will you discover?
what will you find out about yourself?
It's Halloween, let the spirits roam. Pumpkins grinning as the ghosts